Welcome to the Value and Prioritization chapter. We cover the following topics: value and the prioritization factors. Learn more about customer-valued prioritization techniques and minimally marketable features. Now let's hear from the coach for more details.
Thanks, Dave. Let me take it from here. Value. To maximize success, Agile projects aim to deliver soon as many of the high-value components as possible. When stakeholders see tangible results being delivered that is in line with their needs, support increases from all quarters. Here we enumerate how each class of stakeholders are benefited. For example, the sponsors obtain value when their investment pays off. They obtain a high return on investment. They have reduced costs in operating their business, or it reduces their overall risk, and maybe they obtain a high internal rate of return on this particular project. Value continued. Customer derives value when their expectations are transformed in the form of a product incorporating their feedback. The product adapts to change as required by customer. It provides incremental delivery for visibility and feedback, and customers get to perform prioritization of features. Similarly, end users are benefited when their needs are taken into account and their expectation taken care of through incremental delivery and feedback. Provide quick clarification, thus reducing waste. End users require minimal to no training on product usage. Value continued. The team derives value in terms of decision making, improved knowledge, developing leadership, and enhanced skill sets. It develops trust and respect amongst themselves. They define their own work. The teams are empowered to make decisions. It helps develop future leaders, and it provides cross-training. The organization itself benefits through competitive differentiation, enhanced customer loyalty, and better brand recognition. Overall, it leads to less wastage and better collaboration. Prioritization. User story prioritization needs to consider delivering value early and frequently to the customer and understanding that typically a small set of features when implemented satisfies most of the customer needs. Here are many prioritization factors, and they are business value, implementation costs, time and difficulty, usage frequency, maintainability, usability, stability, reusability, product knowledge, project knowledge, and risks such as cost, schedule, functionality, technology, or business, and customer satisfaction. Remember also that not all factors are equal. Value-based prioritization. Value-based prioritization techniques include the following: prioritization based on value, cost, and risk, such as the Carl Weiger's prioritization method; multiple parameter prioritization; Moscow method of prioritization of user stories, where stories are categorized into must have, should have, could have, and won't have groups. Value add means any activity that increases the market form or function of the product, for which the customer is willing to pay for. Non-value add means any activity that is not necessary or does not add market form or function. Prioritization by risk versus value. When user stories are prioritized by risk versus value, the work should be done in the following order: high risk, high value quadrant. Now do this first so as to learn quickly if the work to be done is possible or not, thus saving money in the future. Low risk, high value quadrant. Do this second so as to gain higher benefits for low risk work. Low risk, low value quadrant. Do this last. High risk, low value quadrant. Avoid it since it is not worth doing it. Financial prioritization. Financial prioritization of user stories may consider the factors of revenue sources, discounting, NPV, IRR, payback period, among others. Now, the source of revenue itself could be one of the following, such as new revenue, incremental revenue, retained revenue, or operational efficiency. These will be discussed next in more detail. Revenue sources. The customer or product owner may prioritize their product backlog on various factors, including based on the revenue the features may bring in when implemented. Revenue sources include the following: incremental revenue, that which is obtained by selling additional products to existing customers. New revenue, that is realized from sale to new customers. Operational efficiency, revenue which is based on improving operations. And retained revenue, that revenue which would be lost if the feature is not done. Kano's model. Customer satisfaction can be another factor in prioritization. This is studied under the Kano's theory of product development and customer satisfaction, where features are characterized as one of threshold, linear, and exciters and delighters. Threshold means must-have features. Improving these will have little impact on customer satisfaction. Linear features where the more, the better. Exciters and delighters provide great satisfaction, often adding a price premium. This is also called as the unknown needs. It is suggested to implement features in the order listed above, that is threshold first, next linear, followed by exciters and delighters. Remember that over a period of time, features tend to migrate to lower category. That is, exciters and delighters move towards linear and threshold category.
To buy the full course and other services, visit ProplanX.com.
Economic models. Value in business projects are commonly estimated using the economic methods such as payback period, present value and future value, net present value, internal rate of return, and return on investment. Now let us discuss each of these. Payback period is a unit of time to receive the initial amount invested. For example, a user story that pays back early may be a favorite against the one that takes longer. Let us try another example. A. System to log customer complaints costs say $100,000 and pays back in 2 years. And option B, where we are buying an off-the-shelf CRM, it costs $125,000 and pays back in 3 years. Now, which one is better? Clearly, option A is better from a payback period perspective. Present value PV is about moving future amounts back into the present, also called discounting. That is, present value tells us the worth of a user story in today's terms or today's monetary value. Economic models. Future value FV. Future value helps us calculate how the money in present will grow to in the future. Remember, present value and future value accounts for time value for money. Next, we consider net present value NPV. An important factor is the net present value, which describes the benefit derived from a decision in today's terms. Now, all things being equal, higher the NPV, the better it is. For example, A. NPV of project drilling for oil in new fields is $1.3 billion. Project B. NPV of project exploring existing oil fields is $1.1 billion. Now, from a NPV perspective, option A is better since the benefits are high in today's value. Economic models continued. Internal rate of return or IRR. This metric indicates how quickly money invested in a project will increase in value. This is expressed in percentage. For example, option A, IRR on highway building project is 3.5%. Option B, IRR on toll road construction is 4.3%. In this case, option B is better since the returns from this project are more compared to option A. Return on investment, or ROI, is a measure that shows the rate at which an organization discounts future money. In an agile project, the product owner is tasked with selecting features that bring in the maximum ROI. Customer valued prioritization. Customer valued prioritization is concerned with working on the items that yield the highest value to the customer as soon as possible. This technique aims to engage the customer in the prioritization process, in which the team identifies high-value features and moves them up the backlog of items to work on. In its simplest form, customers may prioritize user stories into high, medium, and low categories based on factors that may be of interest to them. There are 4 methods that we will discuss here. Number 1, analytical hierarchical process. Number 2, forced ranking technique. Number 3, weight-based prioritization technique. And number 4, 100-point method. Analytical hierarchical process. Here, the customers give relative ranking to each requirement, comparing it pairwise. This is to reduce any bias. Forced ranking technique. In this technique, stakeholders rank all requirements in order of importance, while assigning a unique number to each. Weight-based prioritization technique. Here, customers weigh each feature based on their importance. 100-point method. In this technique, stakeholders are given 100 points and they have to value and buy features based on how important they feel a feature is.
What do you think is the answer?
What key elements play an important role in prioritizing user stories? Option A, value, cost, and risk. Option B, value, cost, and time. Option C, risk, money, and time. Option D, time, money, and complexity. Now, what is your choice? Value, cost, and risk. The project should deliver value to the customer, and major risks ought to be handled early on. Value, cost, and time. While time is a factor, considering risk in prioritizing is more important. Risk, money, time. Without value for the customer, other factors are secondary considerations. time, money, complexity. While complexity or risk is a factor, considering value to the customer is more important. Which one of these may not represent customer valued prioritization? A. Prioritization of features based on customer value. B. Prioritization of features based on product owner inputs. C. Prioritization of features as mandated by the sponsor. D. Prioritization of features performed by the team. What is your choice? Prioritization of features based on customer value. This is a method for relative prioritization or product features based on customer value in ordering the product backlog. Prioritization of features as mandated by the sponsor. A sponsor knows what features bring them value the most, and therefore their inputs should be considered. Prioritization of features based on product owner inputs. A product owner's input is essential since they know what features bring them value. Prioritization of features performed by the team. The question was, which one of these may not represent customer valued prioritization? Therefore, while the team may be involved in prioritization, only the customer knows best what they need. Minimally marketable feature, MMF. Minimally marketable feature is the smallest set of functionality that when implemented provides value to the customer. The three attributes are minimum, that is the smallest possible set; marketable, which provides significant value to the customer in terms of revenue generation, cost savings, brand enhancement, customer loyalty, or other criteria. Feature means demonstrable behavior of the product. This may consist of many user stories that may not be decomposed any further. MMFs may also be represented as a user story. These are estimated using standard agile estimation techniques. The MMFs should be big enough for a release to help obtain customer feedback sooner. Value stream mapping tools. The various value stream mapping tools are process activity mapping, production variety funnel, supply chain response matrix, demand amplification mapping, physical structure mapping, quality filter mapping, decision point analysis, value adding, time profile, and process costing. Value-based analysis. Value-based analysis consists of value analysis, value stream analysis and value proposition. Value analysis defines a product's basic and secondary functions, and those functions with the highest value are implemented first. Value stream analysis is a planning tool that helps to optimize results by eliminating waste and improving value. That is, getting the same scope of work done for less cost and with better quality and performance. Value proposition is a statement of features with unique value, utility, and tangible results for a customer to consider buying based on their perception. Comparison between value stream mapping and process mapping. The chart here presents a comparison between value stream mapping and process mapping. Value stream mapping. The focus is to enhance value-added activities and minimize or eliminate non-value-added activities. The focus is on the value provided by the value stream and ways to enhance it. It results in improved customer value and maintains both internal and external focus. Whereas in process mapping, the focus is to discover the current process, establish root cause, and find a solution. The main focus here is to improve the process. This does not necessarily increase customer value, and it maintains an internal focus.
Here are the top benefits why you should buy this course now. Boost your career by preparing for PMI-ACP certification. Pay as you wish, a no-risk offer to you. Multimedia courseware. Realistic mock final exams, practice questions. Extensive testimonials. 21 hours course certificate. Courteous and prompt support. We hope you enjoyed the course. To buy the full course and other services, visit ProplanX.com.
Conclusion. A project is expected to provide value to various stakeholders. A user story may be prioritized based on many factors. Value-based prioritization may be based on risk versus value or by the application of the Moscow principle. Financial prioritization is based on money considerations. Customer-valued prioritization methods provide the customer an opportunity to prioritize based on their needs. Minimally marketable feature represents the smallest set of functionality that provides value to the customer. Value stream maps depict the value and non-value add in a given process, where lean methods use it to remove waste.
To revise, click on the topic.
For a quick recap, click on the term Customer-valued prioritization. Here, the client directs the development process by prioritizing features they consider important. in order to obtain higher business value. Internal rate of return, IRR, a measure that indicates how quickly money invested in a project will increase in value, expressed in percentage. Higher the IRR, the better it is. Kano Model, theory of product development and customer satisfaction, which groups features into three categories: threshold, that is must have; linear, that is more the better; and exciters, that is the delighters. Minimally marketable feature, MMF, the smallest set of functionality that, when implemented, provides value to the customer. Moscow, a mechanism for sorting features as must have, that is mandatory to implement; should have, if time permits; could have, that is nice to have; and won't have, is the discarded items. Net present value, NPV. NPV is about how much money a project can be expected to return in today's value. Generally, the higher the NPV, the better it is. Pareto's law. 80% of the value to customers comes from 20% of the project features. Focus the team's efforts on the smallest set, that is MMF, that provides the greatest value to customers. Payback period, unit of time to receive the initial amount invested. Present value, PV, moving future amounts back into the present, also called discounting. Return on investment is the rate at which an organization discounts future money. Return on investment equals the difference between gain and cost divided by cost. Value. It is the relationship between the customer's perceived benefits in relation to the perceived costs of receiving those benefits. Value is equal to benefits divided by cost. Value stream mapping, a hands-on process to graphically represent the process, resources, and information flow within a value stream, helps to determine value and non-value added activities.
Great! You made it to the end of the chapter.
Take up the quiz and activities that follow. Download content for offline study.
See you in the next session.